Hello and welcome, students of Europe Hotel School. I'm an AI expert specializing in modern hospitality operations, and it's a real pleasure to guide you on this part of your online learning journey. Now let's talk about something I'm sure you're all familiar with, the dreaded spreadsheet. If you've ever felt trapped by endless rows and columns, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're going to explore how AI is completely flipping the script on hotel finance, turning that tedious budgeting process into a seriously powerful strategic tool. So let's dive right in. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle that annual nightmare that is traditional budgeting. Then, we'll see how AI comes in to save the day. We'll get into some cool specifics, like rolling forecasts and way smarter capital spending. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by talking about what this all means for you and your career. Sound good? Let's get to it. Okay, first up, the traditional budgeting challenge. You know, that big annual hurdle. For so many people in this industry, it's a process they just dread. And, well, we're about to break down exactly why. I mean, let's be real here. For most hotel executives, the annual budgeting process is, well, it's grueling. It is just a massive, all-consuming effort that eats up countless hours. And you know what the most frustrating part is? After all that work, the final plan often feels totally obsolete the second it's printed. So why is it such a pain? Well, here's the breakdown. First, you've got months, literally months of manual data entry. Then you're relying on these super complex, super fragile spreadsheet formulas that, one wrong click and the whole thing can break. And of course, that leads to a huge potential for human error. And what do you get at the end of it all? A static, inflexible plan that just can't keep up with how fast the market is changing. All right, so enough complaining about the problem, right? Let's talk about the solution. This is where we get to the really exciting stuff, the AI-powered transformation. It's a whole new paradigm, a completely new way of thinking about hotel finance. And this really brings up the big question, doesn't it? How do we break free from this reactive annual chore? How do we turn it into something proactive, a continuous strategy that actually helps us? Well, the answer, as you might have guessed, is all about embracing the right technology. And that brings us to this core concept we're talking about today, AI-Centric planning. So what is it? Simply put, it's using artificial intelligence to completely transform budgeting from this static, once-a-year thing into a continuous, agile financial strategy. Think of it like a living, breathing plan that adapts in real time. The end goal here, really, is to have real-time financial visibility. That's the holy grail. And modern AI platforms make this happen by plugging directly into a hotel's core systems, everything from accounting to procurement. This gives leadership a crystal clear, up-to-the-minute picture of exactly where things stand financially. Okay, so let's see how this actually works in practice. The first big application is revolutionizing how we handle operational expenses, OpEx, all those day-to-day costs of running the hotel. And this is where the idea of rolling forecasts becomes a total game changer. Yeah, this comparison really says it all, doesn't it? The old way was a static, once-a-year budget. Set it and, well, hope for the best. The AI way is a continuous, rolling forecast. It's literally the difference between using an old, folded paper map versus using a live GPS that reroutes you when there's traffic ahead. So you're probably wondering, how does the AI actually create this forecast? Well, it starts by analyzing all of your historical spending patterns. But, and this is the magic part, it doesn't stop there. It's also constantly pulling in real-time market data. Think inflation rates, supply chain disruptions, you name it. It combines all of that to predict future expenses with, honestly, incredible accuracy. All right, so now let's take that same powerful logic and apply it where the stakes are even higher. I'm talking about making smarter long-term investments. This is all about precision capital expenditure, or CapEx. The big ticket items that are crucial for keeping a hotel competitive. And again, the difference is just night and day. The traditional method is a fixed replacement schedule. For example, we replace the guest room TVs every 7 years, period. It doesn't matter if they're working fine. The AI-powered method, that's what we call data-driven precision budgeting. It's not about the calendar, it's about the data. And this gets us to this key term, precision budgeting. So what is it? It's an AI-driven approach that recommends replacing an asset at the exact moment it becomes the most financially optimal thing to do. The whole goal is just to maximize value and get rid of waste. No more guesswork. And here's how the AI pulls this off. It looks at everything about a major asset, let's say a big commercial laundry machine. It analyzes its maintenance history, its energy efficiency, everything. Then it can actually predict the exact point in the future when the cost of repairs is going to start exceeding its value. And that's when it tells you, hey, now is the optimal time to replace this. It's all about perfect timing. Okay, so this all brings us to what is probably the most important part of this whole discussion. What does this all mean for you and your career? Let's talk about your strategic advantage. Think of it this way. This is a journey, a professional evolution for you. You're going from spending your days on manual data entry to leveraging automated intelligence. You're moving from just reacting to problems as they pop up to proactively building strategy. You're no longer just following a spreadsheet. You are actively driving profitability. And this quote just sums it up perfectly. It's about ensuring that every dollar spent is contributing to the hotel's long-term profitability and asset value. That's the bottom line. It's about making every single decision count. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about as you move forward. As a future leader in this industry, how are you going to use AI to get beyond the spreadsheet and really start shaping strategy? Because the future of hotel finance, well, it's in your hands now. Thank you so much for your time today.